Hey guys, what is going on? And welcome to the very first episode of the Huddersfield Town career mode here in FIFA 18. This is my first series on a new game, and I want to start off by saying a big thank you to all my followers and subscribers for staying patient with me. Obviously, EA Access came out, I didn't have access to it, so I had to wait for the pre-order before I could download the game and finally start. But I have finally got a pause on the game, and I am so excited for my first project to begin, and I hope you guys are as well. Now also, if you're a new viewer to the channel, I do recommend you guys click that subscribe button straight away, as I'll be posting FIFA 18 videos every single day, oftentimes twice as well. And on this channel, it's a real community, this channel, you know, it's not just me uploading the videos and you guys watching, it's a real family community sort of channel, a very interactive channel as well. And if you guys want to get involved in this series as well, make sure you click that subscribe button and become a regular viewer. So in the first episode of this series, we're going to dive straight into the career mode, set it up today, going to take a look at the squad, the lineups, also dive into the transfer window as well, hopefully make our first ever signing with Huddersfield Town, hopefully, and also play our first game with the Charities as well in the pre-season tournament. So without further ado, let's dive straight into it and begin our Huddersfield Town career mode. Let's go. So for those of you that are new to career mode, I'll run you through a few basic things, but for those that are more experienced players, you'll just be able to watch me dive straight into the game and you'll know exactly what's going on. But basically, to start the game, we can see the team we'll be starting off with is Huddersfield Town. They are a newly promoted side to the Premier League, which is the top division in England. They won the Championship playoff final last year, beating Yapstam's Reading on penalties, and they've got a £28.4 million budget, so that's not that bad, but it is the second lowest budget in the Premier League. Only Brighton have a lower budget than the Terriers this season. They're a 3.5-star team, so not very good, and you can see our objectives and expectations here on the screen. Sorry, I should just say the expectations on the screen. Domestic success and continental success, very, very low. Of course, Huddersfield aren't in Europe to begin with. That's the continental success brackets. The brand exposure is a low objective. The financial section is a medium expectation, and youth development is low as well. So the board not expecting too much of us, Huddersfield Town, at least to begin with. So that's kind of good. Relieves a lot of pressure straight away. And let's go ahead and set up our manager and dive straight into the game. And let's see if I can find one that looks a bit like me. It'll be quite hard, I think, but let's have a look. So here we go then. I've got my manager avatar set up. Unfortunately, he doesn't really look much like me, but I think out of the pack, he probably looks the most like me. I mean, I'm getting on a bit, but I'm not that old yet. Yeah, we'll go with this guy. I think I used him last year as well, in the shirt and tie, a little bit more formal than what I'm dressed for today. And we shall dive straight into the game. Now, for those that haven't been watching me, I have been playing career mode on YouTube since FIFA 13. That's manager career mode since FIFA 13. Player career mode started in FIFA 12. And I play on legendary difficulty as well. I'm kind of disappointed that ultimate difficulty is on Ultimate Team, but not on career mode, but we'll talk about that later. And we always download the latest squads as well. And of course, Huddersfield aren't in Europe in the first season. So I'm very excited for this, and hope you guys are as well. And again, if you are a new viewer, make sure you click that subscribe button, because I'll be uploading FIFA videos every single day, and this will be my main series as well, uploaded on a very regular basis. So if you're a new viewer to the channel, make sure you become part of the family and click that subscribe button. Alright, so here we go then. Just gonna quickly save the file and then we can get underway. So in the first episode, as I said a moment ago there, we will be diving into the transfer window straight away, hopefully going to make our first signing as well. And of course, we'll be playing the pre-season tournament too, and we'll have our very first game with our Tigers in today's episode, probably right at the end. Now, I always pick the one with the most prize money. Pre-season tournaments were a new feature in FIFA 16. Every single career mode I've done, I've always just picked the one with the most prize money, and that oftentimes is, as it is today, the European International Cups. Let's get ourselves into that pre-season tournament, find out our group, but most importantly, to begin with, take a look at our squad and assess the team. So as we begin straight away, we're going to take a look at the squad report to begin with, but now it's actually called a squad hub, not a squad report, where you can take a look at the stats of the players, the attributes, and also their finances as well, their wage, their salary, their valuation in the market, and their current contract as well. I'll run you through a team real quickly. I won't show you all the attributes or anything, so it'll be here forever, but you guys can see the little circle there, which gives you a good idea of the range of their attributes and what they specialize in. Now, in the first season, I'll probably say with a 3.5-star team, our objective is just to keep them up. You know, in the first season, we're not going to be breaking into the top half of the table. It would be amazing if we could, but I'm not entirely sure I've got the ability to do that. But I would definitely say if we can keep Huddersfield up and have a good, solid first season in the Premier League, finishing around 13th, 14th, 15th place, I call that a good first season. And as we look at the team, you can see it's quite a youthful team. You know, there's a few experienced players in there. You saw Rob Green, a veteran English goalkeeper, a few moments ago. But I think my hot prospect for this year is going to be this guy right here, Philip Billing, who I had in the previous career mode. I called him the Great Dane because he's 6'6", so really tall, and of course Danish as well. So the Great Dane, reunited with him once again. He'll be our hot prospect this year, the one to watch, the youthful player to keep an eye on. But of course, the key player in the Huddersfield team this season is probably their key player in real life as well, and that is this guy, the Australian Aaron Moy, who I'm very excited to use. Never used him before. He's got 4-star weak foot, 3-star skills, 77 rated, some really nice well-rounded stats. You see his list of positions there, CM, CDM, and Cam as well, which means he'll be very good all through the spine of this team. This guy's going to be my key player this season, no doubt about it, and I'm going to be turning to him on every single opportunity to bail us out and hopefully win us points single-handedly. But it's a good team though. It's pretty youthful. It's got some good talent in there, and I must say I'm excited to use this side. It's an interesting one. It's going to be tough this year, our first season in the Premier League, but I've got a good team there, and I think this is definitely one for the future and one we can build on right from the get-go. Now, as for the Huddersfield lineup, they use a 4-2-3-1 under David Wagner in real life, and I'm not going to change the formation. I'm going to play exactly how they do in real life in terms of the formation. They're a very high energy team, Huddersfield. They won a lot of people over last season and to begin this season off as well, playing this sort of style, and that's why they got the first 2 wins this season against Palace and Newcastle. They just outworked those two sides, and it's really good to see a team come up from the Championship and really go at sides. So we'll be trying to go at sides ourselves this season, play without fear, despite being probably the weakest side in the division. But again, we will start with a 4-2-3-1. That is what they use in real life under David Wagner. And again, it's not the best team. There's some decent quality in there. I must say the attack looks very, very good. Mounier starting up top, looks like a real handful at 6'3", a good target man. Tom Ince on the left-hand side, son of legend Paul Ince, and Kachunga on the right side with Palmer on loan through the middle as well. So it's a pretty decent attack, I would say. Defensively, I'm a little bit worried about that. So my goal in the transfer window is to strengthen our back line. We'll look for some signings straight away in the first episode, looking for maybe a new centre-back or possibly a new full-back as well. And there's not that much depth to the team, so I want to improve that as well and get more quality throughout the ranks of this Huddersfield side. But yeah, we will play a 4-2-3-1 just like they do in real life, and hopefully we'll get off to a good start just like they did in real life as well. So that is our squad report. That is our lineup. We shall take a look at our pre-season tournament group as well, and we've been drawn against Norwich, the Canaries, Celtic, and also Vila das Aves as well. Interesting group. Okay, so as we take a look at the inbox, to delete a couple of emails, we've got 3 more to take a look at, and the first thing we will take a look at is the vision and expectations of the Huddersfield board. Now, of course, you guys know the priorities of the expectations, but what the actual expectations and objectives are, we want to take a look. So, as you can see, our objective overview here, the youth development objective is to sign 1 youth player to the senior team in the same season they were scouted and play them in 5 matches, either as part of the starting 11 or coming on as a sub, and also grow 1 youth academy player by at least 5 overall points as soon as they've grown, played them in 5 matches, either as part of the starting 11 or coming in as a sub. Now, we will definitely be using the youth academy quite a lot in this series. Huddersfield don't have as much money as the other teams in the division to start off with. Again, they got the second lowest budget in the division, so definitely this season and in this series we'll be taking a look at the youth academy and using that quite extensively. So I think we'll hit both of those objectives. The brand exposure is to keep a streak of at least 85% attendance in 5 consecutive home matches. That's definitely doable, no doubt about it. No objectives for the continental expectation. Of course, we're not in Europe this season. And domestically, the board I should say, ask us to avoid relegation and reach the round of 32 stage in the FA Cup, which is definitely doable, and that's exactly what we want to do. So the board and I are definitely on track in terms of the expectations here. Finance is the final one though, and they want us to finish the season with £8.8 million unspent in allocated funds, which, I mean, you know, we could definitely do that, but for me, I try and spend my entire budget in the first 2, well, the only 2 transfer windows in the season. So we could definitely hit that objective. I think out of all the objectives, that's probably the one we might end up failing, which is kind of disappointing because that's the medium priority objective and the biggest priority objective. But that's one of those things. But for the most part, I'm totally fine with all the expectations, and I feel like the board and I are on the same wavelength right to begin with. That's always really important, as you want to get our manager rating as high as it possibly can be. So the transfer market is open. The board, as you can see, are taking a look at the pre-season tournament just like we did as well. And yeah, that's basically that. We're set up, we're manager of Huddersfield Town, and let's go ahead and get to the transfer window and try and make some signings straight away. Alright, so I've gone ahead and put a few scouting reports on a couple of potential new signings, but as we're getting to those scout reports being completed, we do have 2 transfer offers for two of our players. Tommy Smith, the Huddersfield Town captain at right back, and also Christopher Schindler as well. Let's take a look at a bid for Smith first. Now, he's our first choice right back, and it seems like Stoke want to bring him in for £3.5 million. And his market valuation is £2.9 million. Now, he's 25 years old, 72 overall, and I think I'd rather keep the captain here in the first season, if I'm being totally honest. But I wouldn't be against getting around double that bid if I could for our number 2. So we shall go ahead and ask Stoke to either double the valuation or go away. So let's see if we can get Mark Hughes to give us some more money. Now, this is a new feature for FIFA 18, the transfer negotiations, and this is really, really cool, I must say. We've never had this sort of thing before, the actual managers talking to one another. And this looks really cool. Oh, there's a sell-on clause as well. You can get sell-on clauses. That's awesome. So that means that if Stoke sold Tommy Smith, we could get a percentage of the fee they get for him in the future. Now, they've put in a bid of £3.5 million to begin with. I want to propose a new transfer fee, though, straight away. And I'm going to ask them straight away to double the valuation. If they want to take my captain, they have to pay over the odds to get him. So £7 million. If they want him for that, they can have him. But I kind of want to keep the captain here. So actually, we'll go £7.5 million. I'm kind of reluctant to let him go. We could probably do better, but I kind of want to keep the captain here. So let's go ahead and see. Let's add in a sell-on clause as well for the first time. Let's go 10%, and they'll get 10% of whatever fee they get for him if they sell him. And let's go ahead and submit an offer and see what Mark Hughes says. Okay, so Mark Hughes says, this is our final offer, I'm sorry. And in which case, they're reiterating it's £3.5 million or he stays. So, Mark Hughes, to be honest, mate, you can get lost, because I am not selling my captain for just 600 grand over his market valuation. There's no point going back and forth on this, because at the end of the day, this guy's my skipper. I'm not coming in straight away and selling my captain. So, Mark Hughes, get lost. We're not interested. And the second bid was for Christopher Schindler, a 27-year-old centre-back. He's actually one of our first choice centre-backs, currently in the first 11 right now. 73 overall, 27 years old. You know, in his mid to late 20s now, he's certainly no spring chicken, that's for sure. But Newcastle put in a £3.5 million bid, which is a joke, really, because he's at £3.6 million valuation. And I don't think I'm going to negotiate. I'm not going to bother. Rafa Benitez can get lost, because that's an insult of a bid, really. That's nothing for a pretty decent centre-half and one of the best at the club. So Benitez, don't even bother coming back, mate. That's a stupid offer. Okay, so we're going to dive into the first game then of the series. We're going to simulate this one. Now, ordinarily, I simulate all the pre-season games. We will play one today. We'll simulate the first one against Celtic and see if we can get off to a winning start of our Terriers, albeit whilst we simulate the game. Our group is definitely one we can get out of, but if we get off to a losing start, I won't be very happy. We got off to a drawing start instead. Aaron Moy scored our first goal of the series, and that's exactly why I said he's going to be our key player this season, no doubt about it. So the Australian gets us off the mark. We get a point to begin with. Not a bad result, and hopefully we'll get through this group, and I'll play either the semi-final, or if I'm feeling bold, simulate that one and play the final. We've also got a transfer offer for Tommy Smith, this one from Brighton for £3.1 million. What's the point, man? Like, what is the point? Chris Hughton is now wasting my time. First it was Rafa Benitez and Mark Hughes, now Chris Hughton is wasting my time. So you're going to totally reject that. This guy's my captain. We could probably do better, but I'm not selling him in the first season unless we get a good bid. He's staying with me. We do have a bid here for Joel Coleman. He is a 60 rated goalkeeper, 21 years old. Maybe a young talent, but in the first team right now, definitely not going to get a game with Lossell and Green ahead of him. So we'll let him go to Barnet for the season. I'm totally fine with that. And the first player that leaves goes out on loan. Alright, so diving straight into the second pre-season game. This is against Vila das Aves, which I believe is a Portuguese side, Spanish side. I should know, I think it's Portuguese. And we scored through the Great Dane to begin with, and we've won the game 3-1 after the simulation. So that's fantastic. Our first win of the pre-season tournament, 4 points after 2 games, and now just 1 point away against Norwich from getting through to the knockout stages. But what I want to do now is go to our transfer hub and try and sign our first ever player with Huddersfield Town. Now, just about £28 million in our budget, and these are the two guys I want to bring in to begin with. Axel Tuanzebe of Manchester United or Alfie Mawson of Swansea. Now, both players 73 rated. Mawson is 4 years older at 23. Tuanzebe is 19. But I said I wanted a centre-back to begin with. And, he can't sign Mawson. He's just recently... No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. It says we can't sign him because the player has just recently joined this club and won't move again. No, he hasn't. He signed last season. He signed. Alfie Mawson transferred from Barnsley at the start of last season. Yeah, we can't. Well, can we try and sign him anyway? Approach to buy? No, they just no, they didn't. It says the club recently acquired the player, so they aren't looking to negotiate his leave. Well, that's ridiculous. He didn't. Well, in that case, we're going for Tuanzebe Bay by default. I can't believe that. I can't believe it. It says he just recently joined the club. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He was there last year. He signed in 2016. That's... Oh, what a great start to the career then. My number one transfer target, we can't sign due to an error from EA. Fantastic. So instead, we'll try and sign Tuanzebe for United. I can't believe that. So in the end, those are my two main transfer targets. Mawson was the guy I really wanted, but instead we can't sign him. So instead, we'll have to meet Jose Mourinho and see if we can undermine the Portuguese mastermind and convince him to let a young, talented centre-back go. Now, Manchester United have quite a few good options in the CV role. Now, of course, they've got Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo, Lindelof, Bailly as well. Blinken play there too. They've got plenty of options in the CB role. So because of that, I don't think Mourinho is going to hold us to ransom over the sale of Tuanzebe, but he is definitely a good, young, talented player. So they won't let him go on the cheap and for anything close to his valuation, I would say. So now, normally I would say a valuation bid is, probably the right thing to do to begin with, but I'm not going to waste Mourinho's time because I know we won't be able to get him straight for £5 million. So we'll up it by £1 million to begin with. We'll go to £6 million, and we will not add a sell-on clause because there's a good chance we might sell him on for profit in the future. We'll submit the offer and we'll see what Jose says. I can't believe that though. I genuinely can't believe that. Mawson signed in 2016. EA have got that wrong. If anyone at EA is watching this series, sort it out. Mawson signed in 2016. And Mourinho says that's a fair offer for Tuanzebe and they're happy with the terms. Brilliant stuff. So straight away, my first bid is accepted. And now I kind of wish I put in a valuation bid because I might have got him for £1 million cheaper. But we've convinced Jose to let us talk to Axel. Let's go ahead and offer him a contract and see what he says. Gotta say, props to EA, by the way. I'm absolutely loving this new feature. Really, really cool and very nice indeed. So we've got Tuanzebe here and what I assume is his agent as well. And as you can see, thank you for having us. Let's begin by talking about his role at the club. He expects to be an important player and play in most matches throughout the season. Well, that's definitely going to happen. We've kept hold of that German centre-back, and of course, Jorgensen's here as well. But definitely this guy's going to go straight in the first team. He's just as good as those two players, maybe a little bit worse, but he's a good young talent, 19 years old, and he's definitely going to go straight into my first team. So I'm going to put him straight in. All right, so now we're talking about the contract length, and I kind of want to give him a 5-year deal, tie him down for as long as I can, but I'm not sure he'd accept a 5-year deal, as that's a very long time to spend with one club for a good young talent. So I might go to 4 years instead and see if he's okay with that. Okay, so we'd like to sign him on a 4-year contract. Let's see what his agent says. That's what we're after. Fantastic. So right away, we're firing on all cylinders, and Tuanzebe's smiling. He's happy with this. So now a release clause, and I definitely don't want a release clause, no doubt about it. This guy needs to be here for the long term, and we've declined any kind of release clause in his contract. For the salary, he wants 48 grand a week, a 630 grand bonus, and after 5 games, is that a bonus of 240 grand? Or is that 240 grand a week? I can't tell. I don't think it said. I mean, if it's 240 grand a week, forget it, because you can't afford it. If it's a bonus, I don't mind. We'll counter though, and that way we'll be able to see if we can find out in total whether it is an extra bonus after 5 games, or whether that's his wage after 5 games. We'll edit his wage, 48 grand a week. I'm going to try and get him down to 45 grand a week, which is about 6.5 grand more than what he's on at United right now. So he'll still be getting a wage increase. And we'll try and reduce that sign-on bonus to $500,000 as well, because that's still an awful lot of money. And we'll see if he's okay with that. We shall edit the bonus as well. And oh no, it's just a bonus of 240 grand after 5 games. I was going to say, man, we could not afford 240 grand a week. This to me is totally fine though. I don't mind just giving him an extra 240 grand a week. Sorry, not 240 grand a week, an extra 240 grand after the 5 games. So I think what we'll do is be okay with that. And we shall submit that offer and see if his agent is okay with that. Look, if you are really interested in signing my client, you should have no problem paying a wage of £48,000 a week. So the agent is putting the foot down. He's saying, give us those initial demands And you know what? It's only £3 grand. I can part with £3 grand. That's okay with me. So we'll accept that then. It's more than what we planned for originally. That's true. We'll meet your wage demands and look forward to Tuanzebe joining the squad. So in the end, things go not exactly according to plan, but good enough for me. I'm totally fine with that. And it seems like Tuanzebe is going to be the first player we'll sign for Huddersfield Town. Okay, so Tuanzebe is in then, and our first signing has been made with Huddersfield Town. I shall show you his full range of attributes, and you can see exactly why I wanted to get this guy in. 73 rated, just 19 years old. Can also play holding mid as well, which is really, really cool. 3-star weak foot, 2-star skills. As you can see, physically, this guy looks really good. And in terms of new signings with Huddersfield, I want to get good physical players with this team. So players that are quick, players that are strong, players that got good stamina, players that are tall. And as you can see, this guy ticks pretty much all the boxes. 74 acceleration, 76 sprint speed, 68 agility, 64 balance, not the best for a centre back, but 73 jumping, very good as well. And 69 stamina is not too bad either. Where is his strength stat? That's what I want to find out. His strength stat's not there. Where's his strength stat? I can't seem to find his strength stat. Is there? Where is his strength stat? Alright, well you can see it now. It's got 74 for strength, and he's got some really, really good stats in key areas. 71 heading, 73 marking, 73 for slide tackle, and 74 for stand tackle as well. Some really, really nice stats. 6'1", medium work rates. I like the look of this guy a lot. I really, really do. And I think for the money we've paid for him, just £6 million, that's a bit of a bargain. That guy's going to be worth so much more than that in the future. And on a 4-year deal as well. He's here for quite a long period of time too. So that's a great signing. And we've got off to a fantastic start of Huddersfield. I'm really pleased with that. I can't believe that Alfie Mawson negotiation, or lack of negotiation I should say. He signed in 2016, not 2017 EA. He's not a new player for Swansea. He was there last season as well. Very disappointed about that, but Tuanzebe's in, and maybe he'll be the better option anyway long term. So let's get to our third pre-season friendly. It's against Norwich. It's the final game in the group, and just a 1 point will see us through. So let's go get it. So here we go, Canaries, third and final group stage game. Just a 1 point will do. A draw will send us through, and we won 2-0 in the end. Mounier and Moy, the star with the goals, and a clean sheet for Tuanzebe on his debut as well. So we are into the pre-season tournament semi-final. Delighted with that, and we'll be taking on the Belgian side, KAA Gent, as another Belgian side, Bruges, will take on Celtic in the other semi-final. Okay, so for getting through our pre-season tournament group, we've got an extra £1 million added to our budget, and it's now £18 million, 127 grand left in the wage budget, so still plenty of money left over for new signings after the arrival of Tuanzebe. Now, I want some good young talent with Huddersfield in this series. I want to bring in some good young players, as I often like to do, and develop them throughout the course of this series. So Tuanzebe's in. I want someone else to join him, and I did say I wouldn't be against signing a new fullback at this club, and I think a left back wouldn't be a bad option. Now, in terms of good young left backs, there's one that really impressed for Fulham last season at Craven Cottage, and his name is Ryan Sessegnon. He can also play further forward as well. This is a 17. Player's recently joined the club. No, he hasn't. He was at Fulham last year. What? This guy came through the Fulham Academy. What do you mean he's just recently joined the club, EA? Are you joking? Are you having a laugh? That was my #1 target for a backup left back, possibly to put straight in the first team, and it says he's recently joined the club. No, he hasn't. He came through the bloody academy. That guy joined the club when he was a kid. What do you mean he recently joined the club? He's 17 years old. He's technically still a kid, but he joined the club when he was younger than that. He came through the youth. I can't believe that. Honestly, well, there you go then. So my second choice left back that I was going to hopefully sign can't come in because he's apparently just recently joined a club when he clearly hasn't. Oh, I tell you what, man, seriously, I'm liking this game. I really, really am. I'm liking the new additions to this game, but I'm not liking this at all. That's 2 consecutive players that haven't recently joined the club. I wanted to sign. EA instead of recently joined the club, so I can't sign. Brilliant. Alright, so we can't sign Sessegnon, we can't sign Mawson then. Those are 2 young talents I was after, and I do want to sign some good young players in this career. However, I would also like to sign some experienced players as well. Some players to come in who've got good proven Premier League experience, many years under their belt in this top tier, and players that can really steady the ship in the first season. Now, naturally, it is better to look for the young talents so you can get them on the cheap and then grow them to be really good players in the future. But But I kind of want to sign some players that are going to be experienced as well, just to get a nice blend of young players and senior pros as well that can really bring something different to this Huddersfield team. So step up, my next new signing, and I think I have just a guy that could come in and be a really good experienced player for the young team here. I want someone that's played in this league for a number of years. I want someone that is a senior pro. I want someone that's played for a few different teams in the Premier League. And I want someone that will be a really, really good player at keeping hold of the ball, as well as a set-piece wizard as well. Any guesses for what I'm going in for? I think some of you might know. My next signing I'm going to go in for is this guy right here, Charlie Adam of Stoke City. Now, of course, once of Liverpool, Blackpool, and Rangers as well. That's Glasgow Rangers from the SPL. Charlie Adam, valued at £4.2 million, 50 grand his weekly wage. Now, he's 31 years old. He's not going to get any better than 74 overall, but this guy does have some really, really nice stats, and he's definitely someone I'd like. He's someone who can keep hold of the ball. He's got some great technicals, and as I'm absolutely rubbish at set pieces on FIFA nowadays, I think this guy could help us be a set-piece wizard and make us a real threat from free kicks, corners, and penalties as well. So, Charlie Adam, an interesting signing, but someone that's going to bring some experience to this youthful team. Let's go ahead and see if we can re-establish a connection with Mark Hughes and get our relationship back on track. I want your Scottish midfielder. All right, so me and Mark Hughes didn't have a good start to our working relationship, but I think I'm going to turn him round here with a decent bid for Charlie Adam. Now, again, most career mode players only go for the young players and only go for the young talents. That's obviously the best way to get your team going as the years go by. But again, I want to sign some experienced players. It's not really a realism thing, but just to do something different to the norm. So let's go ahead and offer a transfer fee for the Scottish midfielder, valued at £4.2 million. I'm quite tempted, I must say, to be a little bit cheeky with Mark Hughes here and see if I can get him on the cheap. Now, Mark Hughes wasted my time in our first negotiation, so I don't really want to be a hypocrite here and do the same to him, but we might be able to get him a little bit cheaper than £4.2 million. So let's go £4 million and see what Mark Hughes says to that. I think we'll also add in a sell-on clause as well, because I don't think Charlie Adam's going to go anywhere. I think Huddersfield could be his final club in professional football, have him here for about 4 or 5 years and then let him retire here as hopefully a Huddersfield Town legend as the years go by. So we'll add on a sell-on clause of 10%, and let's go ahead and see what Mark Hughes says to that deal. So it's £4 million plus a 10% sell-on clause, and Mark Hughes says no to that. The minimum we're willing to take for Adam is £4.5 million. Now that's only 350 grand over his current market valuation, which really is not a lot at all. And whilst Adam may be on 50 grand a week, which I'm a little bit concerned about for a 31-year-old player that's not going to get any better, I'm totally fine with that. So I'm totally fine paying that amount of money. It's a lot less than what I thought he might ask for, which is going to be around £6 million. So £4.55 million, totally fine with that, Mark. Glad to come to an agreement on this player. And now let's go ahead and offer the guy a contract and see if we can get him to Huddersfield Town. Gotta say, I'm absolutely loving the office views there, man. Seriously, it looks really, really nice. So, Adam's agent has come in, and it could be his dad, looking at those two right there. And he wants to begin by talking to the role of the club. He expects to be part of the core group, and yeah, I mean, he's going to be. If I'm going to spend £5.5 million on a 31-year-old, of course he's going to be in the first team on a regular basis. Although I guess I could possibly try and counter and go to a rotation option there. Could try that, because I want to use Billing a lot in the first team, because he's going to be our hot prospect, and of course Aaron Moy's going to be our star. So Charlie Adam, in my opinion, is always better playing as a deep-lying playmaker. Although we could have him as an advanced player playing in Palmer's role in the attacking midfield option, or maybe use Moy as the attacking midfield and play those three together and put Palmer on the bench. I think we'll ask him to take a lower squad role to begin with, but if he says no, I'm fine going with the important status. Let's find out what he says. The best I can do is promise that Adam will be given a chance to make an impact as an occasional starter and coming off the bench. Now, I don't think Charlie Adam's going to be happy with that, especially at this stage of his career. And as you can see, he says that's not going to work. He's looking to be an important player and playing most matches throughout the season. So do you know what, Charlie? I think we can work something out. I would rather have you coming off the bench, really, to keep holding the ball. But instead, it seems as though we're not going to get him to take a lower squad status. We'll accept that. We'll say that's totally fine. And yeah, we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. I want Charlie Adam. Now, he only wants 1 year on his contract. Now, that's really disappointing, because I mean, he's coming in for £5.5 million. Now, if he keeps us in the Premier League, I don't mind. But, I mean, I kind of prefer him to be here for a little bit longer than that, if I'm being totally honest. Now, if he only wants the 1 year, he's certainly not going to accept a 5 or 4 year deal, which was what I was kind of hoping after that 10% sell-on clause. But 2 years wouldn't be bad. We can still renegotiate a new contract with him anyway throughout his current contract if he's signed. So should we go for 3 years or 2 years? I think we should go 2 years to begin with and then try and add on an extra year throughout his contract as well. So hopefully his agent's totally fine adding an extra 12 months into the deal. Let's find out. We'd be willing to offer Adam a 2-year deal. Now, that's only an extra 12 months. That shouldn't be something that his agent will turn his nose up at. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yep, he's totally fine with that. So I possibly could have gone to 3 years then. That's my mistake. But we'll take 2 years. We can still offer him a new contract throughout the course of his career here. And a 2-year deal is totally fine for me. Now, we can either disregard a release clause or propose one. I wouldn't be against proposing a release clause for Adam because he's a senior player. But if someone wants to take him for a profit from us, then I'll take that. So I think we'll propose a release clause of around, let's go £12 million, which probably won't ever get met. Let's go £10 million, actually. £10 million, which probably won't ever get met. But if it does, make a profit on the guy. And we shall see if his agent is totally fine with that. Yeah, they're totally fine with that. So if we do ever sell him for £10 million, we'll make a profit. Obviously, £1 million will go to Mark Hughes' Stoke, but I'm okay with that. And I guess the next item on the agenda is going to be the money. Let's get to it. So the agent has not offered a wage demand initially. He wants me to make the first move. So I'm fine with that. Now, he gave Tuanzebe a decent sign-on bonus. So Adam will expect the same, I'd say. Despite only being 1 rating higher, he is, of course, a more senior pro. And as for his wages, he's on 50 grand a week right now. I got to be honest, I'd like to see him take a pay cut here. Now, I don't know how likely that is because you used to be able to negotiate pay cuts in previous versions of FIFA, but in the recent games, they've seemed to do away with that. So let's go ahead and offer him a contract and see whether we can get him to take a pay cut of 10 grand a week and go down to 40 grand a week. Now, I'll definitely take that, 40 grand a week, but I'm not sure if he'll be okay with that. So 40 grand a week, we'll offer him a 200 grand sign-on bonus. And let's go ahead and offer him that deal and see what he says. I think the agent's going to come back and say the offer is far too low, but let's find out. We would like to have Adam on a £40,000 weekly wage, and we are willing to offer a sign-on bonus of £200,000. It's not what we're hoping for. My client expects a weekly wage of 39 grand, which is lower than the 40 grand offer, so that's good. But he wants a higher sign-on bonus and a big bonus for playing 15 games. So I think what we'll do here is we're going to edit that bonus right there. We're going to try and reduce that to £500,000. And we'll keep it at 15 games. Well, he's going to play 15 games in 2 years anyway, so actually we might as well reduce that. Yeah, we may as well just reduce that, because then we can get him the money quicker, and that will probably convince him to come here, as the money will be going to his bank account sooner rather than later. We'll edit the wage and the sign-on bonus, though. He wants 39 grand a week. I was going to offer 40 grand a week. He's totally fine taking a grand off this. That's good for me. I'll try and reduce that sign-on bonus to 300 grand a week. Not sure he's going to say yes to that, but we want to try and save as much money as we can here with Huddersfield Town. So we'll submit that offer, and hopefully we'll get him in the second time of asking. So it's 500 grand after 10 games, a 300 grand sign-on bonus, and he's eager to join the club and will accept a weekly wage of 39 grand a week. So it wasn't exactly what the agent wanted, but we've managed to convince Charlie Adam to come in for a lower bid than we initially even offered to begin with. He took a week out of his weekly wages for us. I like that a lot. So Charlie Adam is in then, our second signing for the club, £5.5 million, and I will definitely take that, because again, I want a mix of youth and experience here of Huddersfield, mainly prioritising younger players, but also bringing in some senior players as well. So CA7 is in. Sorry, it's 4.5 million. I thought it was 5.5 million pounds. 4.5 million pounds in the end. Then medium low work rate, 6'1". He's got a wonderful left foot, Charlie Adam. I absolutely love it. And he's got some very decent stats as well. So Adam into the club, 31 years old, getting on a little bit, but this guy's got 3 decent traits and some really good, well-rounded stats. So Adam is in, and look at some of those stats there, man. Seriously, I think this guy is going to really help us out. Now, again, you might be sitting there thinking, what have you done, man? Why aren't you signing young talents with high potential? Well, again, it's not really a realism thing. I just want to do something a little bit different to make this career mode unique. And I think Charlie Adam is going to be a really great addition to this Huddersfield team with those technical stats. So welcome to the club, Charlie Adam. I'm liking the look of this guy. I really am. And we now have to think about how we're going to fit him into the team. which is going to be quite difficult. We kind of want to play Billing, Moy and Palmer, because Billing and Palmer are decent two young talents, but I also want to use Moy as well. I think what I might do though is have Charlie Adam sitting deep alongside Philip Billing and using Moy in the attacking midfield role, because this guy is very good when going forward. He's got some really, really good stats. And I think he'd be pretty decent in that role. So Billing will be a high energy player in the DM area. Adam will be a bit of a deep line playmaker, I feel. But Moy's going to be the energetic man through the attacking midfield role. And with some really well-rounded stats, I think that's a really good trio there in the centre of the park. I think that's going to be very, very good indeed. And you can see a breaking news screen here as well. For the first time we see the animation. I really like that as well. I should have looked at the Tuanzebe one first. You can see Charlie Adam there with me holding the shirt up. Charlie Adam, an interesting signing nonetheless from Stoke, but certainly one with good quality. Now, as I'm setting up the training drills as well, I'm going to try and train some of our youth prospects, so Philip Billing will get a lot of training this season. I want to say, if you're enjoying the video, please do drop it a like, guys. Your support is always really, really appreciated. And again, if you're a new viewer to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button as we set up our training here. So Billing is probably going to get the bulk of the training this season, in my opinion. He is probably going to be our main youth prospect. We want to train this guy up and make the Great Dane a really, really awesome player. And who should we also train as well? Maybe Tuanzebe, the new signing. We get Tuanzebe trained as well and make this guy good too. So Billing and Tuanzebe will be our main two players getting the training this season. And these are two really decent young prospects, two very, very good young talents. We want to turn these guys into the main two players throughout the course of the series. These two guys are going to be the stars throughout the year, I feel, constantly in the first team and getting better season after season. And as we go into the fourth game today, we got the semi-final of the pre-season tournament. Do we simulate it or shall we play it? Am I feeling bold? We got Ghent. Ooh, simulate or play? Simulate or play? Not sure. You know what? I'm feeling quite confident. We've got through our group undefeated. Let's simulate this game. And fingers crossed we'll get to the pre-season tournament final. And we'll play that game in today's episode. So come on, Huddersfield. Let's get to that pre-season tournament final. Yes, 4-0 victory. What a fantastic win for the boys. Ince scoring once, Kachunga scoring twice, and the captain Smith with a goal as well. That's why he stays in my team. We're into the pre-season tournament final then. Are we going to be taking on another Belgian side? Yes, we are. We've got Club Brugge in the pre-season tournament final. Let's get to that and play our first game in charge of the Terriers. Alright, so let's get to it then. Club Brugge beat Celtic 2-0 in the semis. We beat KAA Ghent 4-0. So let's get to the final. I think my team might be a little bit tired, actually, due to playing a semi-final just a few days ago. But I'm okay keeping the same lineup out there. And let's dive into it. So this will be the final thing in today's episode, the final of the preseason tournament. If you have enjoyed the first episode, guys, please do drop it a like. And again, give me your transfer suggestions in the comment section down below as well. As we dive into the first game. And I'm totally fine using this lineup, despite there being a couple of tired legs out there. I think we'll be okay with this team. So again, we are playing on legendary difficulty. That will be the case throughout the entire series. I haven't done any quick substitutions, which I kind of wish I did. Let's do that first real quick. Quick substitutions are a new feature in this game, and I'll be using them quite heavily throughout the course of the series because I really like it. We'll just go with the one to begin with. That's Mounier coming off for the backup striker on the bench. And yeah, let's dive into it. So first game, it is Club Brugge in the pre-season tournament final. Let's come through, get the win, and get the most amount of pre-season money available. Come on. Alright, so here we go then. This is our lineup on the screen right here. As you can see, the 4-2-3-1. Smith the captain at right back. Charlie Adam and Tuanzebe making their debuts as well in the CDM and CB roles too. I'm feeling quite confident. You know, I really, really am. I'll be very disappointed if we lose this game, the first game of the series. But I'm feeling quite confident we can get this win. So come on, Huddersfield Town. Let's come through and get the win and get the most amount of money from the pre-season tournament. Let's get it done. So first chance here for Club Brugge. They try and work their way inside. Tuanzebe doesn't know what to do there, and Lossell has to make the save. Not a good start for me already. The Belgians putting the pressure on. First chance going to them. Not a good beginning to this game as the corner swung in, but it is cleared and away. I have not started this game off well at all. I'm looking very, very nervous right now as Club Brugge try and come through again with Vossen. But there's Tuanzebe with a good tackle. He started this game off well. Now finds Billing into Moy. Mounier flicks it through towards Billing. Lovely, lovely ball. And the Great Dane could be through. Billing! Oh, what a goal! Philip Billing into the bottom corner. But what an assist from Mounier, a fantastic flick over his head to set the Great Dane through, and Philip Billing strides forward those long legs and puts it into the bottom corner. 1-0 Huddersfield. What a fantastic finish. I am delighted with that. You just caught the last bit of that Mounier assist there. That was brilliant. Lovely little flick over his head, and Billing does the rest. Goes through one-on-one and keeps his cool. 1-0 to the Terriers, and what a fantastic assist from our target man up top. That really was quite a nice build-up, that one, as Lowe finds Tom Ince. And Ince with the roulette takes it round one, and away goes the young winger down this left-hand side. Ince turning on the afterburners. Can he now find some space inside? Gets a little bit lucky, gets it back, rolls it inside. Mounier for two, surely. Oh, he's put it wide. Oh, I was going to say, there's the goal, and Mounier's put it wide. Lovely ball inside, and somehow he's missed the target. I mean, it was under pressure, but, I mean, that should be 2-0. What a sitter. So, second half begins, still leading by 1. I'm doing okay with Huddersfield. Our general play's all right. I want to keep the ball on the ground with them as much as possible. Not always just launch it into the box, but try and work our way inside. Put some crosses in from time to time to feed the 6'3" striker, but really, I want to keep the ball on the ground and play it to feet. That's my preferred style with this Huddersfield team, and hopefully it'll prove good results as Kachunga finds Smith down the right hand side. Can he cut inside? Yes, he can. Great chance here. Moy is the supporting run, and Aaron Moy puts it in, and playing this guy in the attacking midfield role may prove to be the best thing we ever do, because he is going to be so much more involved in our attacking build-up, and you see it right away in our first play game, storming forward there and getting in the end of the captain's through ball, puts it home, and it's 2-0 Huddersfield. Lovely finish by Moy, and I tell you this right now, you may have raised your eyebrows at the Charlie Adam introduction, the Charlie Adam signing to this team, but this is for a good reason. He'll be our deep-lying playmaker, and Moy will be the guy charging into the box on a regular basis. Fantastic finish, 2-0 Huddersfield. What a great way to start the second half, and now we've got it back and could be on the counter here. Moy through towards Mounier, who could be running through. DeCarli's catching up, but he gets a shot away and makes it free. 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes. Mounier with the finish. Mr. Sitter in the first half makes amends here. 3-0 Huddersfield. That trophy is ours. Moy with a goal and now an assist. Mounier just about outpaces his man, and what a finish there across the goalkeeper's body and into the far corner. 3-0 Terriers. I was a little bit nervous coming into this final. I don't know why. 3 goals up, and surely now that trophy is ours, and so's all that money. Still 3-0, 17 minutes to go. It's a lovely ball out wide towards Loader, and maybe a chance here for a 4th goal. I spot Mounier running. Can he get inside? Surely he can. It's Mounier. It's Mounier. Takes his time. 4-0. What a fantastic first game for Huddersfield Town. 4-0 in the pre-season tournament final. I got to say, I'm liking this team already. What a game! And there it is then, final whistle, 4-0 to Huddersfield Town, the full-time score. Mounier with 2, Moy with 1, and the Great Dane scoring as well. There's a double kangle for you right away. But a win for Huddersfield, and the pre-season tournament is ours. Not really that important. I would have been that fussed how we lost this game, but I did want to start off with a win, and that's exactly what we've done. So, fantastic way to start. We get the pre-season tournament trophy, and we get the maximum amount of prize money as well. Adam looked good in his debut. Tawanzebe was fantastic at the back. You guys might not have seen it throughout the game, but he was really brilliant and probably one of the best players on the pitch. And a 4-0 victory. I mean, you can't really get too far ahead of yourself in the pre-season tournament. We won every single game but one, which was a draw. Finished the competition undefeated. And, of course, getting the silverware and the maximum amount of prize money as well is fantastic. So, delighted with that. We were excellent. 9 shots fired on target, 53% possession with 85% pass accuracy. Want that to be a little bit higher as the season goes on. But, for the most part, a really controlled performance and a really great win. So, man of the match has to go to Mounier. 2 goals and an assist for our striker up top. He was excellent, and a perfect 10 as well. So, that is going to end today's episode of the Huddersfield Town career mode, guys. So, a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the first episode, the series opener of the series, then please do consider leaving a like, as likes are, of course, very much appreciated, and they really help the channel out as well. Don't forget, if you're a new viewer to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button, as I will be uploading this series on a very regular basis. It will be my main one throughout FIFA 18, and I'll be uploading FIFA 18 videos on the daily as well. But thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the second episode of the Huddersfield Town career mode, where we'll be starting our first ever Premier League game with Huddersfield very soon. Bye.